I'm Chef Shay, and I'm out here in the Dale community today to meet with my great-grandmother Eva. She has some wonderful organic snacks to share with us today and a little bit of animal action. Stay tuned.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Hi, how are you?
All right, y'all come on in.
All right, let's go. So what's up? We're kicking it at my grandma's, and today we're going to be heading out in the farm making some double eggs picked fresh from the chicken coop. I'm so excited.
Oh yes, let's go to the chicken yard right now.
All right.
And we can collect eggs. I think there's a couple dozen there.
All right,
So
let's do that.
We have lots of eggs to make some devil eggs.
Oh, let's go.
I'm ready if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
All right.
Down in the country, this is where we grow all the crops. Everything is just so fresh and so wonderful. And I love it. I enjoy it. I eat right from my garden.
So this would be the chicken coop, where the chickens lay their eggs and we pick them. They're nice and fresh.
And that hen there are on the nest. It's
Okay,
getting ready to have some bitties.
Oh, do you see that?
See that one? See now, it got off the nest.
Okay, so we're not going to pick those eggs.
Oh, no,
Okay.
Why can't we pick those ones?
Because the hen, see those gonna hatch up the little bitties.
Oh.
And she sits here on the egg, she gets up and she gets water, and she eat her food, and she goes back on the nest. And she sits there for about 3 to 4 weeks, and there go the bitties. And they're beautiful, they come in all different colors. You'll love them. But other than that, one minute they're playing, the next minute they're fighting.
I don't know which one came first, the chicken or the egg. That's a good question. Just chatting with my great-grandmother Eva, she was sharing with me that she has some wonderful recipe books that you guys can get from the local area in Beaufort. Today we're going to be going out in her live chicken coop to pick live chicken eggs to turn them into deviled eggs. What an easy to make snack. And I've even got my grandmother's secret recipe. You guys are going to love this one.
Well, yes, and I enjoy my granddaughter. She's very interested in cooking, and I love that. And I got this first one, my Gullah Kitchen, lots of recipe.
Okay.
And my second cookbook is my Thrifty Gullah Kitchen, also lots of recipe, all different kind.
Right, so you can find these books locally in Beaufort at any bookstore, and these recipes can affect your life in good ways, and we're going to share one of these recipes with you today. Alright, so this is going to be the materials today that you're going to need to create the devil's eggs. The first thing that we're going to need is kosher salt, black pepper, honey mustard, seasoning salt, parsley, paprika, sweet relish, mayonnaise, and the secret ingredient is going to be honey. And also just vinegar to place in the water while boiling the eggs, because what that's going to do is make sure that the eggs do not stick to the shells. So once we already put our vinegar in, which I have already, what about you want to do? Alright, so yeah, I'm back now, and I've got my eggs on the boil. Remember that we put the vinegar inside the water, so the eggs shouldn't really stick at all to the shell. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to pour this exactly into some cold water. That's just going to help it cool off a little bit quicker and save some time. Key ingredient inside double eggs as well to balance off the sweetness of the honey and the spiciness of the paprika. So I'm just slightly dicing some onions. And you want it to be a very fine cut like this so that it's a crunch in the double egg and not too big and overwhelming. So I'm just going to place this in the bowl with the rest of our ingredients. And I've already put inside of a bowl my paprika, parsley, seasoning salt, black pepper, and kosher salt. And I just put about maybe a teaspoon of each thing. You can kind of put as much as you like depending on the flavor that you want, because remember, once you put this honey in there, it's going to sweeten it up quite a bit. So you want to have quite a bit of offset of the paprika to, give it a spice. So, yeah, we got the quarter teaspoon of each one of these items here. I'm going to go ahead and just put the honey in there. And I kind of eyeball it. I like mine to be pretty sweet. So I'm going to put quite a bit, about that much. And also the honey mustard. And last but not least, we're going to also be using some mayo. I use quite a bit of that. This is what's going to be the main stick that helps the yolk become the double egg. And last but not least, you're going to want to put the sweet relish. Now, the key about the sweet relish is you want to get just the pickled and not too much of the juice, because it's going to make your double egg become watery. That's not going to be good. So what I try to do to prevent that is maybe just drain some of the water off and just stick it in there. And you can do as much as you want. Remember, how much you add is just going to give it a crunch. So, you know, that's what we want. Alright. Okay, so yeah, I've let my eggs boil, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to chop it in half to get the double egg look. And then what you're going to need to do is just take it and cut it down the middle like that. You want to cut it long ways so that it'll sit flat on the plate. And I'm collecting my yolks into a bowl here. And we're going to use that later to create the filling. These eggs, you can see the bright color. You can see the yellow, how bright that yellow is, and what that shows is just how fresh the eggs are. The yellower the yolk is, the fresher the egg is. So it'll be a lot softer and fluffier than a usual egg. That's just the benefits we have of being out here on the farm. Oh, and I'm putting, once I take the yolk out of the middle, I'm taking the rest of the eggs, I'm just sitting it in some water, and that's just going to kind of rinse off that yolk so that the final product will have that clean look that we want it to have. And like I said, this recipe is from my grandma. I don't know, when she sees it, she's probably going to be pretty upset that I'm putting out her secret recipe into the world because it no longer makes it secret, but I just think it's so good that I should share it with you guys. Can you pause it for a minute? So now I've got all my oats out the egg. I'm going to stick it into my food processor here. That's just going to give it a evenly break it down. Grab a spoon. Trying to chop it up. Like I said, we're just kind of getting into a smooth consistency. And once we have it to a smooth consistency, I'm going to take it back out and place it inside of our bowl. You can definitely see how the processor is just smooth it out like this so that it's very light, airy. Yeah, so we're lightly pouring the mixture of the onions and everything inside. I'm just going to lightly mix it with the yolk and it'll become a thicker form. You see how bright and yellow that is? It's really good. And it has all that flavor in there, the onions, the parsley, salt, pepper, and the special ingredient, which was the honey, which is going to give it a sweet taste, which is a little bit different than others. You just get it to look like that. Now, if it's kind of dry like this, what you can do is definitely will make sure you used all your ingredients here. But if it's not to your liking, if you want it to be a little bit more creamier, all you have to do is add either mayonnaise or mustard, whichever one you prefer. I'm going to add a little bit more mayonnaise to it. Excuse me. Yeah. Mayonnaise ain't never hurt nobody. Alright, yeah, so now we got our mixture going. We just put about just enough to fill it. This is the fun part, and this is the part you can start tasting it. It tastes really good. I wish you guys could taste it. But,
it looks good. So nice and creamy looking.
This is a good southern treat. It's easy to make too.
And the good part about it is nice, fresh country eggs.
Yes, don't get no better than that.
You don't buy it in the store, not like this.
Alright, so yeah, we got our eggs here. We're just gonna do the last finishing touches, which I always just put a little bit of paprika on top. Just give it a little spice. Let's try one, Grandma.
Oh, okay, I would love to try one. Mmm, it's good. It's so good.
Alright, yeah, well, I appreciate you guys cooking with me today. It's definitely a pleasure. You can look for this recipe on my website, on Facebook, under Chef Shay.
funeral service. See our shits? Trend the topics. Get yours. They die in silence.
Shout out to my enemies, shout out my competitors.